Hi everyone, Nicole Lynn here, owner of Decluttered Spaces and founder of wavemaker.com. And today I want to talk to you a little bit more about the Wavemakers and who we are and kind of how it got started. So one of my segments of clients that I work with a lot are people who are small business or officing from home. So they're either someone who is an entrepreneur, they're going left corporate America and they're going to business completely for themselves. They might own a small business, so they have a couple of employees, and again, they're either officing from home or they're officing, from a small office space, or they actually work for a really big company, but they might be in sales, like the traveling salesperson, or really in charge of a team. But even though they work for the big company, they're still kind of working for themselves. And I don't know about you, but sometimes I think when you are in those positions, you kind of feel like a solopreneur. You kind of feel like you're working for yourself. You're trying to figure out all the things that will make your business productive and make your dreams come true, all while looking like everything's perfect on the outside. You can't, post it too much on social media that maybe you have fears about if your business is the right decision. Are you making the right moves? How is everything going to come together? You don't want to appear that you're not successful, that the business isn't going great. But meanwhile, the only people you have to turn to might be your family or your friends who think you're crazy in the first place for even taking such big leaps and big ventures. So those are the people who you're making waves. You're making waves for yourself, like in your own life. You're creating this life that you have been dreaming about. You're making waves in your business, and you're probably making waves in your community. And so that is what made me think of the wave makers. Like, those are the people who I love working with, that dream big, they think big, they have big audacious goals. Not quite sure 100% how it's all going to come together, but my goodness, we're moving forward. But sometimes you really want to have that person to bounce ideas off of, that safe place, that place that will really look at maybe you're redoing your website or you have a marketing piece and you need that tough love to tell you that it could look a little bit better. It does need to be improved a bit. This part's working really great, but have you thought about this? Kind of push you to think outside the box and to hold you accountable. Like, sometimes it gets exhausting. Speaking for myself, like, I have these big projects I want to do, and sometimes you look at the end project and you're just not focusing on that one piece that you need to do every single week to move it forward to your end goal. And that's where the community of Wavemakers is really here to help, because it can be that safe place where you can really grow as a business owner and as a person and not feel judged, not know that things aren't going to go outside of the walls, and that you can really, let your guard down a little bit and really share, some of the challenges that you're having, but also some of the wins. I think a lot of times we don't celebrate ourselves enough, and we think that it has to be this big, huge, big project that we've accomplished or big sale that we've made to have a celebration, when there's so many things you can celebrate. And that's what I've had the pleasure of working on over this past year. So I've worked through the process through a couple of different ways till I could finally hone down what was really going to work, what was really going to be effective for people so that they could get their return of investment, not only on their financial investment, but also on the time. Like, you have to be able to get out of what you invest your time in. You have to get a return on that. And so I created a wavemaker.com. There's 3 different ways to get involved. We can either, join the community that is, we focus every single month on a certain area of life, of business. And then we also share challenges and wins in between. You can work with a more intimate group of 11 ladies max, or we can work together one-on-one. It's whatever fits in your season of life, your season of business, where you find that it's going to be most beneficial. And so that is, it's been a labor of love for the past year. Not only just doing that, but also working on my Decluttered Spaces business and pushing that forward and making it the best it can be. So completely understand where you're at and where you've been. And just a little bit about me, in case you don't know me. I have been organizing pretty much my whole entire life. It was a gift that I was naturally born to do. I didn't realize not everyone was like me until I was in my 20s, and I did some nannying, and I would organize the kids' spaces, and then moms would come over from play dates, and then I would go over to their houses and organize. So I worked a lot in children's spaces, closets, and kitchens. That's a lot of the big areas that children tend to disrupt, just trying to squeeze everything in. And then fast forward probably 10, 15 years, everyone would say, you should do that as a business. I'm like, no way. I know nothing about owning a business. That sounds too scary, too overwhelming. I want nothing to do with it. I dabbled into entrepreneurship in furniture sales. So I made a very low hourly rate, and plan was you needed to make more commissions than your hourly rate. And it was a great learning experience for me. I learned so much: how to budget when you didn't know exactly what your income was going to be, how to take the word no, and it wasn't a bad thing, how to kind of see through potential customers to see which ones were really going to be a pain in the tush, that really the income was not at all worth the time that you were going to invest in dealing with them. And there was just a ton of things that I learned. And from there, I ventured into insurance sales, and I did that for 6 years. And that was 100% commission, worked under a very big company, had a lot of support from management, but I still had to learn so much more. And now I was having to go out there and get the sales and get the customers and manage customer service, scheduling my own appointments, doing follow-up, not letting things fall through the cracks. Like, that was, talk about learning ground. I learned so much in that company. I actually still receive residual income from them today. And then I moved out of state and kind of chickened out a little bit. I was like, oh, I don't know if I have the energy to create something from scratch. Like, I just don't think I can do it. So I decided to work for a big company, get a salary, and also have the options for commissions. And I did that for probably a year and a half and realized that I'm not a good employee. I don't like being told what to do, how to do it, and when I can do it. I had worked on my own for so long that it just wasn't a good fit. So then I ventured into the organizing business full time, because that truly was what I love. It's what gives me joy. And then from that, I realized one of my favorite niche of customers, of clients, was the entrepreneur, the solopreneur, the one who is really trying to figure it all out and get all the pieces to work together and still maintain a blend of family life and social life and work and fulfillment and all of that. So that's kind of a little bit about me, in case you were curious. And I really hope that you take the time to check out awavemaker.com. Post some questions, your thoughts. I would love to have you in the community. And, please share if you feel, you have that other person that you think in your mind is like, oh, they could really benefit from this. And I'd love to hear from you, hear your thoughts. And I hope you have a fabulous day, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.